Welcome to a special edition of the Sports Lounge. We have a state championship game preview episode. I'm Joe Antonucci, joined by Sebastian Bruno, Logan Mateu, and Mateu. Let's get into it. We are here just a few days away from the state championship football game, Cardinal Mooney versus Bolles. It'll be taking place at FIU down in Miami.
Stadium.
The Pit.
Pitbull Stadium, yeah.
Should be a really fun matchup. Both these teams are unbelievable this year. Bolles with a 13-1 record. Cougars, same thing, 13-1. Let's get a preview though of last game. Cardinal Mooney Cougars.
Mm-hmm.
After a Cocoa victory, 40-0, they beat them.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't have played much better, if I'm honest. I mean, they did everything right, both sides of the ball. Offensive line, defensive line. They got their turnovers, and they put up 40.
Yeah, I mean, they've been dominant on the run all year. Started off slow. Honestly, everything started off slow. End of the first quarter, score was 3-0. And, it got to the point where I was like, are they going to lose this game? Obviously, in the end, wasn't really close, but they had me nervous for a little bit.
Yeah, no, I don't think the game really felt like a 40-0 win. After in the second half, it did, but in the first half, I mean, they kind of struggled offensively. They struggled. Cocoa was able to move the ball. They got down to the Mooney 40, Mooney 35-yard line a couple times. Just weren't able to kind of keep the ball moving down there in the red zone or near the red zone, near the Cougar red zone. And I mean, once again, we saw the special teams for Mooney play really great. They had a blocked punt on Cocoa's first drive. They had a blocked field goal, I believe, and also. As much slack as Liam Bowers has gotten all year for that Cherry Creek game, he kicked. Did he make 2 field goals?
No, he buried the first one. It was pretty fun.
Right down the ball.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, and I mean that's going to be really important coming down the stretch here, especially this last game.
Yeah, both these teams are really good. They don't have any common opponents. The Cougars only lost coming to Cherry Creek. The number 1 team in Colorado just won their state championship really big.
Yeah,
absolute blowout.
They won by 30.
Yeah. Bolles, their only loss coming to St. Augustine,
yep.
Who just had their season ended by Choka Tawachi. Another good
Great
team.
pronunciation right there, Joey.
So it's going to be a tough matchup for both teams. What are some things we could see? What's one player that you're going to look out for on the Bolles side?
So my one player, my X factor for Bolles is their D lineman. He's 5-star composite on 247. Asher Gihodo, 23 sacks on the season. He has 46 D1 offers, and he benches 225 pounds for 26 reps.
Wow.
So my guy, I know I've been going on rants about him.
Yeah.
Xander Edwards, their running back, sophomore. He's unbelievable, averages 180 yards per game. He's got 44 touchdowns this whole year. And I thought Keneal Jackson had a lot. He's got 35, but looking here, 44 touchdowns, that's steep.
I think earlier in the year he broke a Derrick Henry record was it rushing yards
was
in a game?
That
it was touchdowns in a game.
That was
I think it was both. I think he
had
539 yards exactly and 8 touchdowns. Unbelievable.
That's impressive. But for me, my X factor for this Bolles team, he's kind of the eraser. He's a safety. Simeon Caldwell. He's committed to my Ohio State Buckeyes. But no, he's averaging around 7 tackles a game. Leads the team. Has 2 interceptions. And I think he's a guy you got to look out for if he comes down, plays up in the box. I mean, if Mooney's running the ball well, we'll see how he does there. And also just erase some big plays that Mooney might be able to get.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my player, Naeem Burrows. Mostly because he reminded me of a USF player, Naeem Simmons.
Yeah.
Both wide receivers. This kid, he's just signed to Clemson. Led the team in catches, had over 1,000 yards receiving. So he's an unbelievable playmaker.
Yeah.
Laurent Duz is going to have a tough time to handle. Along with
and Matt,
back there.
like you said Caldwell, if he comes down in the box, he leads the team in tackles per game. So we're definitely going to see that. He's not strictly a safety. He plays all around.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see how our DBs handle Naeem Burrows because we don't know how RJ's health is. We saw he had kind of a brace on his elbow, and I'm excited to kind of see how he's doing. And aside from that, is Laurent is very athletic. He's a very good DB. He's not very big. And so I'm kind of excited to see whether we're going to see freshman Amarion McCray guard him, or if we're going to see Laurent on him or RJ. I'm just kind of interested to see that matchup and how the DBs and the backside of that defense going to handle that.
Yeah, I think in my opinion they're going to start with Laurent, give give the nod to the senior.
Yeah, I think you got to.
Yeah.
This is his second year on the team, much more experience than Amari McCray. This is the biggest game of LaRon's life so far, you got to say. So I think he'll be ready for it. I think Mooney's up for the challenge this week, and I think, like you said, the experience with LaRon, I think it'll pay off.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, Amari McCray, great player, but I don't think you can turn away from LaRon at this point. You know, he's a freshman. LaRon, he's a senior. I mean, I don't see there's any way you can turn away from him at this point in the season.
Another thing is I was looking up Naeem. He's not a very big receiver anyways. He's 5'11 and a half. So that take that argument out of it. I think LaRon will be fine, and I think it's going to turn into if that guy continues to beat you, which is what we saw last year in their state championship run. They got beat by the same guy going to a very big school. You cannot let that guy beat you. You can't go out like that. You can't let one guy dictate your whole season because he's just having the day of his life.
Yeah, LaRon, obviously, I think one of our best players. In my opinion, he's the best athlete on the team.
Yeah.
I think they're going to let him start off with the game, and we'll see how he plays. I remember a couple years ago in a game against Riverview, they had Charles Lester, 5-star, was committed to FSU.
That was like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Was it away?
At Riverview. Yeah. They had Teddy Foster on Florida commit.
Yeah.
He just wasn't having his way that night.
Nope.
And they ended up putting Chris McCorkle. He was able to perform a little better. So we'll see a couple nights how LaRon's able to do. And if he's not able to perform, I definitely think Amari McCray is a suitable backup.
Yeah, but, I mean, this is most of the kids on this Mooney team, this is their first state championship game. Obviously, we had that run in 2023, but we have majority transfers in. So I feel like the less experience, I think in the first half, it might come to bite them a little bit.
Yeah, and this team, alike from the 2023 team, a lot of the 2023 team was seniors, and it's the same with this team.
Yeah, another guy that kind of on Bolles that's kind of you look at the stat sheet, he doesn't really pop out. He's going to FSU. He was committed to Ohio State before. Corbin Fordham, he has 23 yards a game, which, I mean, he's a tight end. For a tight end that is going to a big school that was committed to a school like Ohio State, I mean, it's not that impressive, but it's just going to put that much more stress when you have so many different weapons that you can go to. You have a guy that's going to Clemson, a very great school. You have a guy that's going to FSU, who's another Power 5 school that recruits very well. So I'm excited to see how Mooney deals with so many. They haven't really faced a team outside of really Cherry Creek and St. Thomas Aquinas that has those weapons to kind of stress all parts of that defense.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how can their coaching play a role in this, because they match up pretty evenly talent-wise this whole season. I remember me and Matt were saying they just beat everyone by talent.
Yeah.
They just beat everybody by talent this whole season. So the talent's equal in this game. The two games where talent was equal, we lost. St. Thomas Aquinas and Cherry Creek. So I want to see how the coaching handles this particular matchup.
And I think that's the ultimate deciding factor in this game as well, because I don't see any big gaps in any position where either team outmatches the other.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Bolles already. Now give us your player to look out for on the Mooney side.
Go first, Logan.
All right. My player is going to be quarterback Davin Davidson. You know, we saw him this past week. You know, you saw Devin get in there after Davin, wasn't having his night. But I think they're going to throw him back out there, stick with him like they have been all season. And if he's comfortable, he plays Mooney's game, controls the offense, I think they'll be perfectly fine. And, if he flusters them, which we've seen, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. So my X factor, you went the offensive side. I think I'm going to go with the defense side. I'm going to go Bryce Folda. I think he's pretty much one of the main leaders of this pass rush, and I think a big part of Mooney's defense able to get all those turnovers, interceptions, fumbles. Their pass rush gets home almost every play. So I think it'll keep their DBs in check. They won't have to cover for long. I think Folda is going to get back there, and he's my X factor.
Yeah, I agree. I think you could take that really whole defensive line from Mooney, and you got to really shut down that run game for Bolles if you want to have a chance. But for me, my X factor, we saw what he did to the offense when he came out there. It's Devin Mignery, because we're gonna see really early on. I talked about it in the pregame show how we're going to really see how much Davin's grown throughout the year, because early in the year you kind of saw those big games where he was getting hit, where he didn't have all the time in the pocket to stand back there. He did struggle. He did get a little happy feet. He did kind of sail balls or zip balls in there too much. And so if that's the case with Davin, Devin's going to have to stay in there. And if the O-line can't hold up, he's going to have to, kind of make him, I don't know, be a little more just bite on Cannell running all the time. Especially that's kind of what happens when you have Davin in there, who's not as big of a runner as Devin. But so that's kind of my X factor and why if Davin's struggling early, we got to see Devin get in.
And the thing is with that, I mean, you have two completely different playbooks and two completely polar opposite plays you can run. Like you have all the read options with Devin, and then you got like the deep passes, the screen passes with Davin.
Yeah. No, and I mean, but let's not take away from the fact that Devin can't throw the ball.
Oh no,
it's not like
it's
just a triple option run game. He can throw the ball, and he doesn't look the most athletic out here, but he can jump. He hurdled another guy. We saw him do it against Bishop Rowe. We saw him do it against Cocoa. He can hurdle a guy. He's athletic, and outside of that, he had 2 touchdown passes and big ones because the game was, I believe, 17-0. And I mean, it didn't. Cocoa kind of felt like there might have been a chance to get in this game, stay in this game a little bit. And we get the ball, and he ends up throwing the ball on this down the left side of the sideline. And once another one was to Bo over here. I think both of them were to Bo Daniel. So he can throw the ball, and I think you need that his running to be able to keep that defense honest for Bulls.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. The pressure is going to be a big part if Davin can get the ball out. He can't throw off his back foot. Got to step up into the pocket, get some power into it. And so that's why I'm going to go for my X factor. I'm going to go with Mason Jordan. They like to use him a lot in screens and short bubbles. So I'd expect, with the pressure that they're going to be expecting, to try to get that ball out quick, get Mason Jordan in these jet sweeps, Laurent in those jet sweeps, and these bubble routes, little short screens.
Yeah.
Get them in open space. Hopefully you get some blocks from your receivers.
Yeah, Mason, this past week, he almost scored on one of those bubbles. I think, honestly, he should have gotten in the end zone. I think he kind of ran out of bounds by the pylon. It was near the end of the first half. He was
just short.
Yeah. He was near the end of the first half. It was right on the left side. He had a perfect block from Bo. I thought he should have got in, but perfect play design.
I agree, and I think they have such a prolific edge rusher.
Asher.
Yeah. Mooney's offensive line, if they can't hold up, we're going to have to chip block him. He cannot be one-on-one with our tackles. We've seen games where maybe our tackles aren't over, like they can't run block as well when they are facing a good D-line that's just as big as they are. So we're going to have to chip them. Ryan Wayner, our tight end, is going to have to do a decent job of helping out in pass protection and run blocking. So if he's on his game, I like our chances, but we cannot let that guy take over the game. And there's multiple guys on offense and defense for Bulls that can take over this game, and we got to make sure they don't take over the game.
And the thing about Ryan is he doesn't really get the ball that much. He has 21 yards on the whole season. So
yeah, he's got like a couple receptions.
Yeah, and we're gonna see him. We're gonna see him on the field a lot because they're gonna need the extra blocker in there for run and pass.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Mooney does like to run a lot of. I know they're in 11 personnel a lot, but I do think they like to run 12 personnel as well sometimes with 2 tight ends. So I'm excited to see how they do that.
Comes
in.
And let's keep it short and simple. Just a couple words. Each go around.
Yeah.
What's a key for Bulls? What's a big key of the game to win the game for them?
I think it's pass rush. Keep it simple. If you can get pressure on the quarterback, they're gonna have a tough time.
Logan stole my answer, so I'm gonna go with run the football.
Yeah. Basically, you guys are both going is you got to win the trenches for Bulls. If they win the trenches, they're gonna do a good job in this game. But outside of that, I think. And not just that, I think they are going to move the ball in our defense. I think they're talented enough that they won't be completely stopped. But it's what they do once they get in that red zone area. Because we saw Mooney's defense, they were a little bend but don't break against Cocoa when they faced an offense that was better than some offenses they have faced. But once they get in that red zone, they have to convert red zone trips into touchdowns. And so that's my biggest key for Cocoa this game.
Cocoa.
Bulls for Bulls.
Yeah. All right, so that's Bulls' keys to win.
Yeah.
Now switch it. Mooney's keys to win.
Oof. I think it's keeping a clean game. I know it's a bit, broad, but I feel you eliminate the fumbles. 50-50 balls in the air. You can't have that in this caliber of a game when maybe you can get away with it against teams like maybe True North or Broward Prep.
Yeah.
But like Bulls they have an safety going to Ohio State. Those balls aren't going to always go to the receiver or hit the ground. I mean,
yeah, they got another guy. the guy going to Ohio State, Simeon Caldwell, he isn't even their leader in interceptions. They have a guy,
Santana Starks.
Santana Starks. He
Yep.
leads the team in interceptions, 6.
6, yep.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, that's one less than Vontrez Yarn has on our team. So it's impressive. Both those guys are impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to go with coaching. I think, like I said earlier, the talent is pretty even in this game. I think the coaches, the offensive play caller, defensive play caller, and obviously the head coach, they're going to come big in this game. They have to. They have to make sure everybody's disciplined. They can't give away free, easy penalties, giving them easy yards. This is the biggest game of the season. They have to come in discipline, and like you said, they have to play a clean game.
Yeah, I really agree with the clean game and the coaching staff, because we have seen that offensive play calling be a little bland throughout a couple games, and we have seen those personal fouls kind of show up throughout the year for Mooney, and we kind of talked about it was more of an issue earlier in the year. But for me, I think it's about minimizing your kind of, I guess, negative plays in the first half, because we've kind of seen how early in games against Cherry Creek or in St. Thomas Aquinas, we're kind of playing from behind a lot, and I think if that game against Cocoa was against a better team, we probably are down a score or two because it's just they have a better offense. But I think if we minimize, like, we cannot fumble the ball twice in the first quarter, I believe.
Especially deep in the red zone.
They cannot fumble the ball twice. We can't have a blocked punt, and then fumble down here at the 10-yard line. That can't happen. And so my thing is minimizing your negative plays early on in the game, because I think as the game gets longer, we have a better chance of winning the game. That's what you saw against Cherry Creek as well.
Yeah, you basically led it right into what I was going to ask. We've seen the Cougars, they haven't had a hard schedule. We saw the one good team they played in regular season, Cherry Creek, got off to a really bad start, got down early. How big is it for the Cougars to jump out on top early and get the first score?
I think this game is going to be all about momentum. I mean, if they can go out there, assuming they get the ball first, if they can get the ball first, go down there and score. I mean, their defense, unbelievable. Might be a bit of a stretch, but I think they're one of the best defenses in the country.
In the country? I thought you were going to say Florida. I agree.
Florida?
In Florida.
I agree.
I think they're top 10 in Florida.
I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
Country, I mean,
I don't know.
there's a lot of really good teams.
you're right.
There's a lot of really good teams.
But
But Florida, 100%.
Yeah, like we've seen, like against Cherry Creek. I mean, their defense kept them in that game. Like, if they can jump out to a hot start on offense, that defense is going to do their job regardless, and hold them to minimal.
Yeah, getting out to a fast start is obviously important, but I don't think it's like make or break if they're going to win or lose, because Cherry Creek, like you said, they got out to a really slow start. I think they only had like 7 points going into the fourth, and they almost ended up winning the game. They had a chance late to win, so I don't think it's make or break, but it is super important because this is a really tough team you're playing in Bolles. Great offense, and their defense, they're not going to give you any space.
Yeah,
so,
you also never want to play from behind. You always want to play ahead. You always want to rely on that defense, if anything.
Yeah, especially in the state championship.
Yeah.
This is the last game. You don't got any room, no margin for error, so you have to play a clean game and you have to come out hot. But I don't think it's the make or break.
Yeah, I don't think it's make or break either. I think they have to keep it close. I think Mooney is I think they've gotten better throughout the year, but I do think they play very emotional. And kind of that Cherry Creek game, I think it was made a lot closer because of the defense making plays, not so much the offense. The defense kind of had a spark plug by LaRon, had a big interception. So I think if you just keep it close and don't hurt yourself is kind of my big thing. If you're getting stopped on a couple third downs, if you're not playing great on offense, that's one thing. I think if they get down in the low red zone, they start fumbling the ball. If they get down, they get to the 40-yard line, throw an interception when they're moving the ball. That's what kind of hurts you a lot more, in my opinion. Because it feels like you're shooting yourself. If they're just struggling a little early on, I think they'll be better. But so I think it's important to just, like I said, minimize the negative losses, negative plays, and so that's kind of the most important thing in my eyes in that first half, and that's why, in my opinion, Devin is going to play a big factor, because I think he minimizes a lot of negative plays as he kind of just stays level-headed versus Davin. We had seen the tendency, and same thing with Canil, which, I mean, you can't – it's his two biggest games of the regular season and the postseason. He's fumbled the ball twice in the first half. So I don't like to say that because he is one of our best players. He is one of our biggest playmakers, but we need someone – Devin is kind of like that level-headed player that isn't going to make a mistake too big.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Yeah. So – Like you were saying, if it gets to the point like the Cherry Creek game, I feel like we're gonna need to see a lot more creativity from the offensive play caller. I mean, like in the Cherry Creek game, I think a couple drives, or when Devin got in the game, I think it was like 3 straight like read option jet sweeps.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
think that's something we can't see.
I
mean,
agree, but I don't think he could throw the ball then. He still wasn't able to
Yeah.
throw the ball.
No. I get what you're saying, but I feel like even with Davin in the game, like we've seen a lot of screen passes like consecutively. We're gonna need to see a lot more.
Davin's got to put a
creativity.
little more air on his balls.
Yeah.
He's got to give his receivers a chance. He had we talked about Ryan hasn't had many receptions. He was wide open down the seam against Coco, and he kind of overthrew him, kind of zipped it in. You got to give his receivers a chance. We saw one with Chemistry. Chemistry kind of fell, but I mean, for the most part, as long as Davin kind of doesn't turn the ball over, we'll be good.
First one was good. First one was bad. I think that one he needed much more air. The second one I thought he placed it perfect. But like you said, definitely needs more air.
And
you got to put touch on the
one
ball.
time we saw a fade ball over there down there in the right corner of the end zone, and he kind of zipped it in there. And you got to give his receiver, especially with Chemistry, he's got a big frame and he's got a big catch radius. He's got to give his receivers a chance to go up and make a catch.
Yeah.
No, like my bad.
I'll back in one more thing. So going back to the slow start, I feel like even if they do get off to a slow start, they're so dynamic on offense and defense with all the athletes they have. I feel like they're a good enough team to overcome it talent-wise.
That one of the things that's very frustrating is we see them kind of have this mellow, bland play calling, and then as soon as they turn up, they start throwing the ball well. They start doing a great job, and so I don't understand why they can't just come out the gate and throw the ball deep and have a big play.
Yeah, and like Seb, you were saying, they can score a touchdown on any given play from anywhere on the field, even on defense, special teams, anywhere. Yeah.
Final thing, we're just gonna let's give our game predictions, who's gonna win, and then we'll throw in the score prediction at the same time as well.
Okay. Am I gonna go first?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So, I mean, this is a tough matchup, but I'm gonna go with the Cougars to win here. The score. I'm gonna actually go with a low-scoring game, 24-14 Mooney.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with the Cougars here. I mean, we're gonna be at the game, so
Yeah.
I don't want to see them lose. Same kind of prediction as Logan. I was gonna go low scoring. I'm gonna go 24-21 Cougars. I think they will be up 24.
Field goal game?
Field goal game. Yeah. I think they'll be up by 10 points in the fourth, and I think they'll stop them on like a game-winning drive.
So they're gonna score.
I think
touchdown, cut it to 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one's hard, mainly because I just haven't really seen Mooney kind of come out hot in games where they're facing a team that's just as talented as them. But I do believe they're going to win this game. I do think this is the year they have a lot of seniors. They have a lot of seniors that are playing their last game in high school. And I do believe they're going to win 31-28. I think that's kind of where I'm at, and I do think Liam's going to have I think it's going to be an early field goal to kind of that. And I don't know if it might come down to another one. It's just how these big games kind of turn out.
Yeah.
Special teams is always kind of comes
Always
down to the
a deciding
kicker.
factor. Always.
Yeah. And if you remember the 2023 state championship game, Trinity Catholic, their kicker hit like a bomb,
Yeah, it
like
was
late
like
in
a
the game,
40-some
like
yarder.
a 40-yarder to take the lead.
And then
Of course.
Nino hit one too.
Yeah, of course Chris was like wide open to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have played corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kick could have decided the game if the
Yeah.
defense came up with a stop with like a minute left.
Yeah. For my prediction, I'm gonna go at the end of the regulation, 28-28.
Oh my
man.
gosh.
I like that.
Going into overtime, Cougars are gonna score, take the lead. Bolles is gonna score. Bolles is gonna win 42-35.
Joey, man.
Okay.
So you think
Wait.
they're gonna go double over? How does
Double
overtime?
OT?
What are the double overtime?
Double overtime.
Wait. So
What are the rules?
Oh, you know what? It'd be 40. I'm gonna
they'd have to go for 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the same as college?
Yeah, I think it is. We'll
So-
go 43-41.
Oh my gosh.
No, 43-42.
No,
No,
43-41.
43-41.
Mooney didn't get the conversion.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay. Mooney didn't go for 2.
I wouldn't even be complaining. If I was at that game, man, I just want to see a great game. I want
Yeah.
to see Mooney kind of compete in a game that they have to come behind
And
and
for our
win.
last game ever,
Last game, yeah.
We'll be
and
there.
for the first time ever, someone has picked against Mooney.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Joey finally does
You
it.
know, I hate to say it, but I like to see it.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we're being honest. I think
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
game that, seriously, I think
It could truly go either way.
They
Either
clowned
way.
me for
Yeah.
picking Indiana to beat Ohio State.
Did you pick Indiana when
I did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're right, Joe.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Hey, at least we're going to be at the game.
Ooh, I like this. Oh, I like that Joey picked him. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
All right, thank you for tuning in to this special edition of Sports Lounge. Once again, I'm Joe Antonucci, joined by Sebastian Bruno, Logan Mateu, and Matt Damau. Thank you for watching.
I was